Welcome to the 3-Minute Explainer on framing and stance. The first thing we're going to talk about is how to do effective framing. And one simple way to start is by doing these main questions in this very simple flowchart. You first want to answer the overall question of what are we talking about. Then you're going to go into the sub-question. What needs to be defined within the motion? What does the world look like? Which actors matter most? What are we trying to prove? How do people currently act? And what changes on either side? This is important within a debate context, but also when you're making any kind of argument as a whole in a discussion. If we're not talking about a very specific kind of context, if we don't know who we value, if we don't know the specific definitions, what is the point of this argument in the first place, we're going to be unable to go anywhere. So framing and setup at this top is necessary in order to have an effective understanding of what the debate, this argument is going to look like and how we're trying to move forward here. Framing often leads to very, very direct benefits for argumentation as a whole, and that's why it is incredibly effective. If you have a very clear sets of terms of argument, it makes discussions less messy, and you're able to win debates with clear margins, and you're able to make meaningful contributions to both sides' viewpoints. Good explanations of stance build credibility. This ethos that you're developing is incredibly important. In these kinds of circumstances, if someone is unsure if they want to believe your argument or not, small aspects like credibility considerably add to your persuasion as a whole, and that is necessary if you want to be influential and persuasive in the long term in many different scenarios. Finally, determining most important actors early on and the implication of specific pieces of analysis that you're going to do within your argumentation makes weighing and determining what is the point of all of this much easier in the future, because you are now able to very, very clearly understand that this is what we were able to prove to you from the top. It looks less like it is retroactively being added on, and that is incredibly beneficial for your ability to do more interesting content, especially in later speeches, and make your overall argumentation and discussion more time efficient as a whole. We're going to do one quick example. This house opposes the use of drones in warfare. There's a couple main questions you have to answer in framing, and that's very, very effective for the round as a whole. First, what does the usage of drones look like? Why do countries start wars? Do countries engage in wars in just or unjust ways? Do we care more about less death within these specific wars or less war starting as a whole? Each of these are important questions to answer in pieces of framing, because these are the kinds of things that are going to define your discussion and your argumentation, and being able to prove these things earlier on and being able to set them up clearly makes it much easier to make your argumentation very, very effective. When you put it at the top, it seems less contestable. You build that credibility, and that is why specifically this framing is going to be so very impactful. Make sure you check out the 30-minute exercise in order to actually apply these kinds of skills, and thanks for watching the 3-Minute Explainer.